recall correctly, next week's fight between Danny Garcia and Robert Guerrero is for a vacant WBC title.
For the welterweight division, yes.
There's been some criticism, I'm sure that you're aware of, about that. How do you respond to that criticism? Do you think it's fair for people to take a look at Danny Garcia's relatively thin resume, very thin resume at welterweight, and Guerrero's recent resume, and to critique that being allowed for vacant belt?
Well, there's always going to be criticism. You do A, B, or C, there's going to be people who like it, who don't like it, and those who don't know. It's okay. I accept all the criticism that helps you to be and to construct a better program of what you do. In this case, we were very clear from the convention. We laid down what the process was going to be. We organized a tournament for the welterweight and super welterweight divisions.
Sure.
So we publicly invited any fighter who wanted to participate to let us know. We sent out letters inviting people and fighters to participate. And we gathered all the information. We took 2 months and we set out the process on how it was to take place. We are putting Garcia, who is fighting Guerrero. He's already signed the fight. And the winner must fight Amir Khan by June.
Sure.
And Amir Khan, with the conditions of a 50-50 split.
Okay.
So he's not getting hurt. Because Amir Khan had been chasing a big fight, that's what he wants. Against, first it was Mayweather, then was Pacquiao, now it's Kell Brook. So Amir Khan has the option.
If I may interject to play devil's advocate real here, are you a college basketball or college football fan or a World Cup fan or anything else like
Absolutely.
that? So when you have a World Cup opening match in a tournament, they're not the champion.
Thank you.
So, but yet your tournament, you're launching the first winner of the first fight as your champion.
Absolutely.
That's not the way tournaments work.
But this is not a soccer or basketball.
But it's a tournament. The word is still a tournament.
How many bowls are there in football?
In football?
Yeah.
1. In Super Bowl?
No.
Are you talking football
I'm sorry,
or soccer?
college football.
College football? But there's only one champion.
No, but
there's only one champion in college football.
There's so many bowls.
But there's only one champion.
Throughout the season, you eliminate.
Who's the national champion of college football right now? It's Alabama.
Clemson.
It's Alabama. And Alabama wasn't the champion with the game that preceded that. They had to keep on winning to become the champion. So what you have is Danny Garcia, who's only beaten Paulie Malignaggi. I'm sorry to sound... I'm just trying to explain it.
I accept it.
And I know that. Robert Guerrero is coming off of some very weak performances. So that's why I said the critique is that you are launching this as a champion prior to a tournament and based off of the weak resumes.
Well, if you think Danny Garcia or Guerrero do not have a resume...
At 147 recently? What has Robert Guerrero done at welterweight recently?
He's a former champion.
How long ago?
That boxing is not like any other sport.
Okay, but most recently he's coming off of a fight with Aaron Martinez. How would you say he looked against Aaron Martinez?
Aaron Martinez is a very good prospect who is also in the tournament.
Right, but he's not the first one getting the shot at a championship.
Because he's not rated on the position of Guerrero.
Really?
No.
Martinez
is
Guerrero
higher.
coming off of a loss to Thurman and a very weak performance against Martinez that people thought that he should have won. Martinez should have won. Gets a higher rating than Martinez. Martinez just beat Devin Alexander, who's also a former champion.
Why are you chasing Guerrero's rating today and not 3 months ago?
I have you in front of me now. I'm asking you the questions now.
Well, boxing ratings have many criteria.
Yes.
Record, level of opposition, your amateur career, your professional career.
Why does amateur career play into what's happened professional? Amateur career is 5, 6, 7, sometimes 15 years ago.
It's the amateur career is the seed of a professional career.
Yes, but this is a non-sequitur right now. Lomachenko is different.
Why is he different?
Because Lomachenko was going from amateur directly to pro. If you're talking about amateur right now with Guerrero...
Amateur? No, I'm not talking about Guerrero.
So then you're bringing up amateur careers having nothing to do with this.
I am talking about the criteria for ratings.
Right.
Overall.
Yeah.
You take in consideration the amateur career,
yes,
the mixed martial arts or Muay Thai careers. You take in consideration the amount of fights, where do you fight, against do you fight, the conditions that you fight. There are fighters who are at an elite level. fighters like Guerrero is a fighter in an elite level.
Right now, still?
He's a fighter of an elite level.
Still, right now.
Still right now. You can laugh. It's okay.
Really?
I mean, I'm trying to be like, when I appreciate the fact that you're handling, as you always have,
Yes.
these questions, but this criticism's out there for a reason. Guerrero hasn't looked elite since at least 2013,
Well, he looked
and it's
very...
2016 now.
No. It's a perception, and I mean,
I watch this sport as much as you do, if not more.
maybe more.
Yeah.
Because you're always watching.
Yeah.
I have no doubts. I'm very convinced and very happy with the process, and we will see how it turns out. We're doing a tournament with many fighters
But
being
it's not a
involved
tournament. You're naming the champion from the outset of the tournament.
because that's the way it played around.
No, because that's
So
the way you set it up. You could have done it the way that the IBF had done it in the
No,
past.
please don't compare us to any other.
But I watch the sport, so I'm
Don't compare
gonna
to
say
another
what I see
organization.
through things.
Yeah.
So in the past, when the IBF was going to a #1 contendership, back with Povetkin way back when, about 8-9 years ago, they didn't just say, okay, this guy who wins the first round of this, he's the #1 contender. He had to go all the way through this. That's what a tournament is.
No, those are final eliminations.
Which is basically a de facto tournament.
Those are tournaments to become mandatory contenders.
Yes.
So we're a tournament, you can go out and look at definition. A tournament is to determine a set of different events that have to do with the league.
No, a tournament, what you're doing is you basically set up mandatory contenders down the line based off the winners. You've done it the same thing under different terms.
Well, my English is not that good, man.
Right. But that's, you've been fine so far, so I think that's an excuse.
I'm sorry?
I think, good, that was good.
No, I'm laughing like you are laughing.
Yeah.
We're
No,
like-
I think that's an excuse. I think you can call it a tournament, but it's not a tournament. It's the same thing.
It is a tournament. It's many fighters competing against each other.
So why? All right, we can agree to disagree on this, but I'm right. I'm just joking with you.
And yet, but still though, you can understand the fans' point of view.
We invited Provodnikov, or what's the name? What's the welterweight? NABF champion?
Yeah, Barrionuevo.
Or Pomonarev?
No,
Postol is the champion. Super lighter.
What is it? We invited the top 12.
Some agreed, some did not want to participate. Then what do you do?
So how do you do the rankings then? Because everybody here is trying to figure it out. You have a guy in Guerrero who's lost. You can argue last two fights.
Can't argue. You could only go with black and white. He didn't lose last. He only lost to Mayweather and to Keith Thurman. That's the problem. People want to take perception and make it into facts. If he don't got no losses, he don't got no losses. You can't de-rank a guy because you thought he lost, but he didn't lose. If he got the win,
I think it's fair what he's saying because I asked him this. Like he sent invites to everybody. So some people responded, some people didn't.
to join the tournament.
So in his defense, like if top ranked guys didn't want to come in, if Golden Boy guys didn't
No, I
wanna
understand
come in,
that part.
how can you really have a tournament with everybody?
Whoever challenges Guerrero is not a really good fighter, a elite fighter, then what do you do? He fought Mayweather. It was a good fight. Mayweather is the best of the world. He fought Thurman. And then the last fight, everybody has Vladimir Klitschko just lost a fight. Are you going to downgrade Vladimir Klitschko?
That's a little bit different.
Why different?
Because he's an immediate rematch clause. It's very happy to
No,
have
that
that
has
fight.
nothing to do.
I would downgrade him.
What do you think of Vladimir Klitschko?
I think he needs to get in the back of the line. He lost
Okay, how far back?
5-6 spots.
All right, so then
So
you still could get an
who is
eliminator.
ahead of Klitschko, in your opinion?
You can put Povetkin, you can put Fury, of course, is the champion, Wilder.
How could you put Povetkin over with one loss? He lost to Tyson only. So you're talking about the man who dominated the division for 12 years, loses once, and a guy that's never won a title jumps ahead of him?
Yeah, look, you need to have, otherwise you're going to have rematch after rematch.
baby. You didn't think this one out.
I didn't think it. Look, otherwise you're going to have rematch after rematch after rematch clause in.
I don't know, man.
What do you? I don't know. I criticize him all the time, but I think what he's saying is valid.
Listen,
Like,
people don't want to join. They don't want to join. You know why they don't want to join? Because they're going to have to fight. They don't want to fight. They rather let their promoter pick Hank Lundy type of fights for them.
damn.
It's just the truth.
Damn.
I'm saying, why we could talk about Lundy, why we could talk about Spielka versus Wilder, but what's the difference between Lundy and Crawford?
I don't see a difference. I don't mind this fight.
I'm shown on that fight. I'm just.
Matter of fact, there is a difference because Spielka's won his last 3 Lundy ain't win nothing in his last 3 years.
Anyway, if you ever like to have feedback, if you want to send answers, if you want to give comments, we're free. Every single item we deal with it.
You were invited to China too, right? Wasn't the convention in China this year?
China.
You were invited if you wanted to go.
Unfortunately, you're not going to pay my salary, but
You want to voice your opinion, you got to go to the convention.
You know, the conventions this year is going to be Miami. Hopefully, you go
What
there
month?
on October or November.
That's a good month to be in the
Open
summer.
floor.
I mean,
Absolutely, it's open floor.
I'll say that, Mauricio.
Everything is transparent. Anybody, whoever wants to go and put their case forward, put forward.
I can go if I'm approved as media. I'm not just gonna go.
I will say this about you. You do care about the sport. I respect that. I look at the sport and I worry because you have guys who get #1 rankings and you have no idea why. They've never fought anybody. You have prospects who are ranked #1 WBO, IBF, WBC.
Well, he's the
NABF.
WBC. Let's deal with the WBC.
You've seen it, and we have no idea how a guy gets ranked. I mean, it'd be great from a casual fan.
Let me explain one thing. Rankings are for those fighters eligible to fight for the WBC. Okay?
What they bringing out? Everybody's being crowded over
If a
there.
champion, if a boxer is going to fight or is contracted to fight for the IBF, WBO, WBA, he's not eligible. Okay? So that's one point. Second, you have the activity, level of position. Bob Yellen is a member of the rankings committee. We have 24 people or persons from around the world, and they work every single week, and they compile the rankings. It's a long, detailed process. They fight each other like hell every month to try to compile the best rankings possible. And I feel very confident that the WBC rankings, of course, you can dispute, but there are so many examples. I'm sure you didn't know about Victor Postol.
I know about Victor Postol, yes, and I'm not...
Years ago.
Yes.
I mean, all the fighters.
I interviewed Victor Postol when he was just a kid coming up.
If you go back, in many cases, the fighters, the way they enter the rankings, they enter the development, it's very simple.
I understand that part. You can understand from a casual fan, not a hardcore fan. A casual fan looks and goes, how is Anthony Joshua, who's never fought anybody in this top 10 list, ranked #2? I mean,
He's number 2 in the list?
yes, he's number two.
Anthony Joshua?
Yeah.
Yo, you recording this shit? You are out of control. What the fuck did he do? He ain't do nothing.
He's a medal, Olympic medal. He's undefeated. He has beat anybody in front of him.
Anybody Dylan White is anybody. You're right, he's anybody. He's just an anybody.
You'll see. Time will tell.
And look, I get it.
Number
It's a business.
two?
He is
Number 2 of the world, yes.
So, are you gonna force him to fight Deontay? Because he's #1. Deontay's a champion.
He's not number 2.
No, but Deontay's a
The
champion.
mandatory contender is Povetkin.
No, I understand, but when Joshua gets to #1,
He has to fight a final elimination bout to become mandatory.
wow.
Many times you have a fighter on. Excuse me.
That's not important.
You have fighters 6, 5, 4. Then number 2, 3, 4, they go to other organizations, they get injured, they retire, or they lose.
Man.
So many times.
You remember me, right? I can't believe Joshua's #2. Jesus, how did that happen?
Why would not be number? Have you ever seen him fight?
Yeah, but there's other people. Exactly. Now I'm behind him. There's other people in the heavyweight division that have done more than Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua sold 400,000 pay-per-views, so that's why he's everyone's darling. Huh?
Name the person I'm at.
There's better than. There's done more. Povetkin's done more.
But he's #1 already, though.
He's number
Okay.
one.
Then after professional comes.
My friend,
Luis Ortiz
I have
has
to
done
go.
more. He beat.
We'll
All
be
right.
touch.
Luis Ortiz beat Brian Jennings. That.